Well, we're getting towards the end of the Autumn Carnival here in Sydney, but you wouldn't be able to tell with the talent that are in the fields at Randwick this weekend. As I welcome in Brad Gray. Brad, the feature that we're having a look at here, the Champagne Stakes, it looks to be a pretty good one.
Yeah, it certainly does. So 1,600 metres for the 2-year-olds, Group 1, and a lot of these horses tackling the mile for the first time. So there's a few unknowns, a couple back up from the Fernhill, which was over 1,600 metres, but it was very much a slowly run 1,600 metres. So a few things to consider here. You've got Nepotism currently at the top of betting, but it looks pretty open to this point, doesn't it? $4 the field. He's been a touch easy. I think that's part due to the wide gate. You've got Within the Law, not the most conventional setup. 1,200 metres out to 1,600 metres on the 7-day turnaround. You've got State Visit coming through the size, Buffalo through the size, Belclare will go forward, make her own luck, and Next Gen will have some supporters, given her pedigree suggests that she'll relish 1,600 metres.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a tricky one then. What form lines are we looking at into this?
Yeah, we could have shown 3 or 4 different replays. We've picked out 2, and the first of those is the size. Now, there's good reason for that, because history suggests size owns the Champagne. So you can make up your own mind as far as which horse you want to follow from this. There's Buffalo in the purple. He takes a while to get going, but he hits the line hard. Federal is towards the outside. You've got State Visit here, and they all hit the line in a bunch. So, yeah, we'll just let the last 200 metres play out.
Rivellino, State Visit, Belclare, Vinrock's going right up the inside, Buffalo down the outside, State Visit wide out, Vinrock along the rails, it's Vinrock, State Visit, Vinrock in front, Vinrock won the English size. A photo for the miners, State Visit and Buffalo charged home.
And you had your filly towards the inside there in the pink cap, that being Belclare. She has to be some little knock in terms of running out a strong 1,600 metres off we saw in the sires. So stat-wise, look at this. Sires Produce has produced 16 of the past 20 winners. So that's your proven formula. But as you could see in that replay, you can make a case for 3 of them, couldn't you? So a couple of them are drawn a touch wide. I don't mind Buffalo from that, but he's still learning. So he's still got the P plates on. He's still learning on the job, but he does have a motor.
Okay, and then what about trainers or jockeys that are always proven in the Champagne Stakes? Is there anyone that we need to follow there?
Yeah, well, that's a nice little segue to this replay. So Nepotism and the Hawkes stable. So John Hawkes has won this race 3 times in the past, this being the Champagne, and this horse looks to be beautifully trained up for this. So he's still lightly raced. There he is in the green silks. This is over 1,400 metres in the value, and what we haven't seen from a lot of 2-year-olds this season is dominant victories. That wasn't the case here. Once he sees daylight, he puts them to the sword.
Being guided into the clear. Savvy Halley at the 200, a length in front to Barbarossa. Nepotism starting to wind up. Tupacara taking a run between them. Next Gen's too far back. Savvy Halley being joined by Nepotism, and Nepotism takes the lead late, and despite the betting drift, Nepotism too strong for Savvy Halley. Tupacara finished in 3rd.
And the form through this race has been okay. So the horse that ran second there towards the inside, Savvy Halley, she came out and ran second in a Percy Sykes, and Tupacara was rock solid in a Fernhill that turned into a sprint home. So he's got a bit of X factor, Nepotism. I think this has been a target race. They elected to not back up in the size with this race in mind. So I like that. I think it's a real positive, because for a few of these horses, it might be a little bit of an afterthought. So there's that stat regarding John Hawkes. He's won 3 already. Dracula 1998, Viscount in 2001, and the most recent was Mentality in 2006. So certainly due to win it again, and I think Nepotism might be the right horse.
And then with Nepotism, I did mention previously or off this record about the rail being out 5 metres. Are we worried about Nepotism being able to run on, or could it settle close enough?
Yeah, I think he's good enough to overcome that. I don't think he's blessed with gate speed, so they will have to take their medicine and potentially get a long way back, which is probably why we're shopping at $4. If he had drawn a middle gate, I'd say, well, $4 is a luxury, get on. So that's what you've got to contend with, but if Tyler can just find a 3-wide running line, I think he gets his chance to prove too good, and he's on top. So at the price, I'm with him, Tyler Schiller, Team Hawkes there, the trainers, and the next best is Within the Law. Now, we know that Bjorn Baker is just training winners for fun over the carnival, and this would be a nice way to end it with a bang. So Bjorn Baker, Karen McAvoy, 1,200 to 1,600 metres, but looking at her pedigree, her dam is by done deal. So you'd think that says that 1,600 metres might be okay, but pretty keen on Nepotism. I thought he was one of the better bets across the entire card.
I think Tyler Schiller is in for a very good day. I'm actually interested. Karen McAvoy usually dominates in carnivals. He has been a little bit more quiet this autumn carnival. So that would almost fire him up and mean that he wants the win, right?
Yep, absolutely. He'd be more motivated than ever.
It's the angle to take. I don't know. There's a couple we can make a case for, but wherever you're watching from, punters, best of luck with your investments.